Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Socially Distant, where
Hooray!
I know why the chicken crossed the road. I am your host, Alex Weber, and back by popular demand, my old roommate, my friend, my co-host.
Toot Tautabon!
Yes.
Hey guys, it's little Toot Tautabon Richie.
Oh God, that I just feel dirty hearing that. Tautabon Richie.
Hey, once you get up under those feathers and feel those full breasts,
Do you play?
really nothing like it in this world.
Do you play for keeps?
Is there any other way?
All right. So, what's going on, everyone? We're gonna talk about some pretty weird shit today. But before we get into that, Richie, how was your day?
My day was good. I woke up at 10. I started work at 10:30.
Nice.
I stopped work. I made dinner.
Nice.
And now I'm here.
Fantastic.
That's it. That's all I did all day. That and listen to the Grateful Dead and cry.
Yeah. Actually, funny story about that. So my day was pretty similar to yesterday, as in I did really not a lot, but at the same time I felt like I did a lot.
Yep.
Woke up, just, rearranged some shit around the apartment, made some breakfast. I've been doing that egg in a hole, egg in a basket recently, and it's so fucking good.
Perfect.
Did that, got a notification from the unemployment agency of Massachusetts or whatever it is that I have to go send in records of my wages for the past 4 quarters, so from April 1st 2019 to now. And yeah, so you can send us W2s or pay stubs or checks, and I do not have pay stubs or physical copies of checks right now. I do have a W2 and then a 1099 miscellaneous form for my last job, but none of it shows specifically for that time period, so I have to go into my Chase bank account and pull records of direct deposits and stuff. So I'm gonna do that when I get home to Connecticut, and because you have to mail it, you can't do it online.
Yep.
You have to print it all out, and if you don't just have it readily available, you have to write out an affidavit and sign it that's being hey, so this is what this is, and I swear to God I'm not lying.
Yep.
So that's going to be fun. I got to do that. They're you have to respond by the 17th or it could screw you. So I'm all right, hope it gets there in time. But I think the mail still works pretty regularly. So did that, had my call or my big group Zoom with my CEO and the other furloughed employees. That's always fun.
Yep.
Everyone's so what time does everyone change out of their pajamas or their night pajamas into their day pajamas? And I'm 10 minutes before this phone call, because I was going to wear the same thing I wore on the call yesterday, but I'm you know what? I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that.
Yep. I also had video meetings today, and I wore this.
Yeah.
I wore the shirt that I wore yesterday that says, "Get your rear in gear, colon-cancer awareness."
And then, I woke up this morning and I saw through my blinds that the sky was blue and the sun was out. So
Yep.
that means it wasn't going to be rainy, and that means that I'm going to go hang out on my porch again. So I walked over to the liquor store that's right behind my apartment. Got some brewskis. Was hanging out on the porch in the sunlight. It was great. And I took your advice and listened to American Beauty, the album by the Grateful Dead, all the way through. And it was great, sunny day chilling weather. And it was a great soundtrack for sunny day chilling. And I'm this is great,
Yep.
Got something to drink, got the sunlight, I'm hanging out. And then I got to Ripple.
Yeah.
And so I, when the song started, usually when I'm sitting on my porch, generally around 2 to 3:30, depending on the day, because it changes every day. The sun will come down below the top line of my porch and directly hit my porch. and I just get like blasted with sunlight, and it's great. But so when I started Ripple, the sun was just above the overhang of my porch. So like I
love it.
was still getting some like sunlight and heat, but it wasn't direct because it was still hitting the building.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there and I have sunglasses on, and there was some clouds out, and I sent you a video of this.
Yeah.
Just some clouds moving, and I'm just sitting there watching the clouds for the entire duration of the song. And I know that song's only like 4 minutes. I swear to God, it felt longer. But then like
that's one of those songs that just feels so long.
Especially because I was so just like enamored in just like watching the clouds and listening to the music. And then towards like the last like 30 seconds, the sun just started to creep down below the that line of my building and just started hitting me in the face. And I just started like laughing and crying at the same time. I was just like, this is incredible. So that was my emotional Grateful Dead moment of the day.
My emotional Grateful Dead moment was in the morning.
Yeah.
I put on Blow Away from Philadelphia 89, and about the whole second half of the song, it's about 12 minutes, so about 6 minutes in, they just kind of keep repeating the intro type of phrasing with that bum 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 ba 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 doo da da doo da da, and Brent Millen on keys went into like this gospel. I can only akin it to like a gospel evangelist chant kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's talking about keeping the love that you hold in your fist, hold it to your chest, and then put it up and spread it out. And my favorite line is he says, you think your rib cage is a jail cell, mama. And I was like, holy shit. I started crying right as soon as he started singing, in the air. I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
So yeah, you had sent me that, and I was listening to that while I was making dinner. It was cool. I definitely liked it.
Such a good show. 89 is, I think, my favorite year of the Dead.
Cool.
Hands down.
I'm still in the 70s. I'll work my way up to the 80s.
Word.
I'm getting there.
Work. You better work, girl.
So yeah, it's been weird. Not like thinking about work.
Mm-hmm.
Because before this week started, like even when I was working from home, I didn't get like a ton of stuff, so it would just come in like little bursts of work. So even when I wasn't doing work, and I'd be like kind of like hanging out or whatever, I'd still be like, oh well, I still have work to do at some point whenever someone sends it over. And now I'm just like, I got nothing, man. I'm on my own clock right now.
Tell everybody I'm on my way. Homeboy. That's all I can think of is just in your house just dancing to Homeboy. Homeboy. I would like to reach out my hand.
And so that transition from like having responsibility to not having responsibility and still being in the same environment is quite surreal. And speaking of which, I want to talk to you about a certain little short film called What Did Jack Do?
Oh, fucking hell yeah, dude. I've been waiting to discuss this for so long.
So, as a quick intro, What Did Jack Do is a 17-minute short film by David Lynch.
Yep.
He filmed it in 2006, or no, not 2006, 2016. But it was only just released in like January, I believe.
Yep.
Like, I was doing some reading on it, which is interesting because when I watched it all the time, it was when it first came out.
Yep.
And so there was nothing written about it other than, hey, this David Lynch thing's here, and I don't know what it's about.
What to make of it.
But so now that it's a little bit later, a couple months, there's some more background. And I guess he mentioned it in 2014 where he's like, oh, I'm doing a movie with a monkey. And then in 2016, he shot it, and it premiered in France in 2017, and then it was just released. This is the only plot synopsis. In a locked-down train station, a homicide detective conducts an interview with a tormented monkey. And that about sums it up pretty perfectly. Because this whole movie is David Lynch talking to a monkey
named Jack Cruz.
Who, as far as I know, is voiced by David Lynch.
I also got that as well.
And at first I wasn't super sure about it, but when we hit the musical number, I knew it was him because I know David Lynch's singing voice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I know it's him. And if that's not weird enough, this whole dialogue just doesn't make any sense. And that's not even like an exaggeration. Like every line that is said between David Lynch and Jack the Monkey is completely absurd.
Yes.
And I love it. And I love the fact that I still don't know what the fuck is going on.
Exactly. This whole movie just leaves you, or this short film just leaves you just disoriented by the end of it, I want to say. Yeah, it's just a lot of just really weird, like, non sequitur lines.
Yeah, and
that
just
show
little,
up and...
but it's great because it's so quotable, because they're all just these little one-liners. And I know with you and me, we just send those things back and forth. Like,
exactly. Like, today I just sent you what? There is no Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I won't be home for Christmas.
And I know why the chicken crossed the road is a line from
I know why the chicken crossed the road.
And it's just so weird. And when I saw it on Netflix and was like, okay, David Lynch interviewing the monkey, like, I'm in for this. What do I expect? But then they start talking, and all your like ideas of what this could be are just gone.
Exactly. You're now just left with no idea of what is happening in front of you on your television.
And so I guess the really piecemealed synopsis is David Lynch is a detective, as we know, and he's interviewing this monkey named Jack, who is a suspected murderer of...
Yes, he's under interrogation for the murder of Max Clegg.
Yes. And the only reason... And they're in a train station, as my Wikipedia synopsis said. And Jack's train was late, or, whatever. So that's how Lynch tracked him down. And they're doing this little, like, talk interview. And it's about the murder of Max Clegg. Mm-hmm. But there's also another character who is very important, a hen named Tutataban.
Yes, the old whore.
Yes. No, the old whore was Sally.
The old whore was Sally, that's right. She could... Yeah. What did she say? She could do something? And Sally is an orangutan.
Yes. It's weird because, like, I'm trying to remember, like, specific lines from it, but there's so many weird things, weird lines of dialogue that I can't remember them.
What the one part for me that gets a little weird is, my father was a pipe fitter for the DeWitt family.
I'd like, put my ass on the line for any chicken. Or rooster.
Yeah, so Jack cruises by. We also learned that.
Yes.
He could have shot Max that night.
Yeah.
A lot of weird shit that goes on. And then he talks about the romance with Tutataban that he had.
Yeah, so I guess Jack was previously married.
Yep.
And wasn't a big fan of his wife, let's just say.
Oh, yeah, big no. Wasn't his wife a horse?
Well, I don't know if his wife was a horse, but...
Or she bucked like a horse, something like that.
Something like that, because he's like, even if I was a horse, I couldn't begin to tell you how hard she rode my ass.
That's what it was, yep.
Yeah. And when I first watched it, that line was like, there it is. That's it. I'm sold.
That's a line that David Lynch wrote and recited to himself.
Yes. So, his wife was murdered at some point.
Yep.
Out in the bush. And then he fell in love with a hen named Tutataban. And
my love.
At some point, Tutataban walks by the table where they're talking, and
this the best part of the movie.
And Jack the monkey screams, and there's one scream, and it's like whoa, and then it's a close up of his face. And the scream is so audibly disturbing, mixed with the visual. Because here's something we didn't talk about: it's a real capuchin monkey. Like,
Yeah.
it is not CGI. It's a real monkey,
Mhm.
but it has a human mouth because they edited, like, digitally inserted someone's mouth
Yep.
over it, reciting the words. So it's really unsettling. And so this monkey screams, and it is just, again, a deeply unsettling sound, but it has, like, a human mouth and human teeth.
And if you notice, the mouth looks almost exactly like David Lynch's mouth, so that also was like, oh, that's David Lynch completely.
Definitely. And then we unsurprisingly go into a little musical number that is the high point of the film for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm True Love's Flame
Yes.
is the song. We danced. We took a chance. True Love's Flame. My favorite is that the ending note of that song is my favorite. Flame.
And I was watching it literally like less than an hour ago in preparation for this.
Yep, I watched it twice last night in preparation for this.
I kept thinking, like, okay, I haven't watched this film in a while. Maybe now when I watch it, I'll get a better sense of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely not.
Exactly.
I literally don't. And it's weird to watch something that makes absolutely no sense and is confusing, and yet after the first time I watched it, I was like, I love this. And
it's one of my favorite short films now that I'm proud to say.
And I think this ties well to our sort of overarching umbrella topic of surrealism, because this is surrealist as hell, and it's weird because sometimes if you don't understand something, you might not like it.
Yep.
Like,
exactly.
I don't understand sports, so I don't like sports. I don't understand What Did Jack Do, but I fucking love What Did Jack Do, because it just, there's something about it that just twists your mind and really gets in there.
Mm-hmm.
And
it doesn't even ask any special questions of the universe, or it doesn't really have an underlying message.
It's literally just a conversation between a man and a monkey.
Yep.
And yet it just gets into your brain and is like a bomb going off. And when I watched it, before, I was like, this is so awesome. I was cracking up just because it's so weird and it's so David Lynch, and that alone and just aesthetically and how bizarre it is makes me just love it so much.
Mm-hmm. Part of me now wants to see the short film both with a human actor as Jack.
Yeah.
And a monkey as David Lynch as the detective. I want to see
the
how that would look
flipped.
now if we were to replace either person with a monkey.
That would be very interesting.
And just kind of monkey or human. So I'd love to see it with 2 humans, 2 monkeys, and then reversed. I'd like to see a monkey detective, and because will that then bring an entirely new interpretation to it? Because what I'm thinking is David Lynch wrote this surrealist interrogation scene with just non sequitur language and bullshit dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
But then he just kind of sat and thought, I want to make the murder suspect a monkey, and I want to see how that will change the dynamic of a conversation if now I'm working with a sentient animal.
Yeah. And it would be super weird, I feel, with 2 humans, or even with the monkey interrogating the human, because it's like, hello, human.
Yep.
So, why are you trying to fuck a hen?
Right, exactly. Yep.
But that would be even crazier, and I would love it equally as much because it's just so weird. I mean, even though I guess the bestiality thing is definitely a little stranger.
A Jeffrey Dahmer looking motherfucker going like, you ever get your hands up and feel those full breasts?
Oh my god. Who's gonna believe in orangutan?
Who'll believe in orangutan? A jury might. But there's a comeback to everything that's said also.
Exactly.
This film, which I think is really...
And the fact that some of my favorite ones... Well, I don't know if I could classify either side as a favorite, because I love when David Lynch says something, and then you have a monkey hit him with a comeback, and it's this real smart-ass thing. But then when the monkey...
I'll see you and raise you 5.
But then when Jack says something and David Lynch has a comeback, it's like a cool cop sort of thing, which makes sense because he's playing a cop. But it's just like, it's smooth.
Exactly.
It's David Lynch.
Mhm.
And I would love to see if David Lynch released like a season or two of just 15-minute shorts where he's a detective, not necessarily interviewing people, but just like that character in different scenarios.
I love this character of the detective too. I want to know more about him.
I would love it because sure, we get a little bit of the same thing in Twin Peaks season 2 where he plays in season 3 as well. He plays Gordon Cole, the FBI director, which is, I guess, sort of a detective, I guess, but completely not in the same realm or league as this. This is just if David Lynch, the human being, was a detective.
Yep. And
this is what it
love
would be. And I it's great because it's just so, it's amazing.
And it's one of those films that partially is like, think about it, but also just take it at its face value.
Exactly. Because there's really not a lot you can sort of discern from it.
Exactly. And then you sit there and you're just like, well, what do I want to do? But then like you got some bitch like Joe Exotic. Now you see, I gave him that monkey. And that monkey was probably one of Doc Yentle's.
What I think is interesting, actually, and I literally just thought of this, is that David Lynch in his films, there's so much mystique behind them. And, like, you know, everyone's always trying to figure out the deeper meanings in, like, Eraserhead. Or they're always trying to dig so deep into all of these things that Lynch produces that it's funny that it's almost impossible to do that with this because all the dialogue is essentially nonsense. Exactly. And I feel like that might be deliberate by Lynch to just be like, you have to take this at face value because there's no way you can actually like dive into this. And I think that's incredibly cheeky on his part if it is true. But I love it because, you know, sure, it's fun to sort of dig into things and analyze stuff, but it hits a limit where it's like, all right, this is getting a little ridiculous. Let's just enjoy the piece for being the piece.
One thing about this piece that I love is that David Lynch mixed the sound, especially the room tone, so well that the whole time throughout this, I'm just feeling just completely and totally uneasy.
Yeah. David Lynch, again, we know him as like a director and artist. He is incredibly good at sound design.
Yes.
On Twin Peaks: The Return, so technically season 3. I don't know. Did you ever get into Twin Peaks?
I never watched Twin Peaks, not even the movie.
Okay. It's interesting. I love it to pieces. I gotta go do like a full rewatch. Season 2 gets a little dicey because of network shit, but that's a song for another album. But so like real quick, like season 1 was all David Lynch and Mark Frost, the creators. Basically, that was their thing. And Lynch wanted to go a certain way. But because it got so popular when they did season 2, which he didn't even really want to do a season 2, they started wanting more episodes. So almost half of season 2, which is significantly longer than season 1, is just random filler side plots that don't mean anything. And it's just like, it's not good. Like it doesn't have the same magic. But then like the last like episode or 2 of season 2 are some like the best television I've ever seen.
Oh shit.
And that Lynch and Frost came back for that one, or Lynch came back for like the last episode or so it makes sense.
Is there any place for me to see this show? Is it on Netflix?
It's all on Netflix. I know
perfect.
Then The Return, so season 3, which just came out like within the past couple of years, Showtime did it.
Okay.
And they pretty much gave Lynch like carte blanche to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Oh, that's amazing.
So season 3 is incredibly Lynch, incredibly weird. I need to watch it again to take it in fully because I still do. It's sort of like with this. There's so many things that I just don't understand. But where was I going with this? Oh, so Lynch did all the sound design for every episode of Twin Peaks: The Return. and the sound is incredible. So he's like a master of sound as well as his directing and art and everything else.
He also designed the really cool chairs that they're sitting in. Also,
I did. I saw that.
Designed and made them.
I saw that when I was researching before, because he said I'm making a chair for this movie. And here's the thing, I didn't notice the chairs until this viewing.
Really?
I never picked up on them. I guess
Yeah,
I wasn't
noticed
like
them right from the get-go. The really circular back and how it's a lot smaller than just kind of bench seat.
Yeah. I literally never noticed it until now, and it really stood out. I'm like, wow, those are some funky chairs. And then after I finished it, I looked it up, and lo and behold, he did it.
Yep. It's like a Taco Bell in the 90s.
Yo, the Taco Bell in Danbury, Connecticut still had that 90s vibe until like a year ago.
Oh, dude, I still gotta find some like old fast food places with that vibe.
Yeah, right.
Just so I can be like, yes, early 2000s. You know what vibe I miss? And I'm straying a lot. Like that very early, like 01, 02, 03 vibe of like everything is like metallic and like kind of like bubble but not really.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
definitely,
you know what I mean?
dude.
It's like it was big in like England for a while. Like if you watch like Bend It Like Beckham, that's like the whole vibe. And I'm like, oh dude, like I miss that vibe when like Limited 2 was all the rage and like, dude, I miss that vibe. That was such a fun vibe.
I saw a picture of Limited 2 on like Twitter or something the other day. I have not thought about, read of, seen, or heard anything about that maybe in 15 years or something. And so seeing that, I was just like, whoa, okay.
I was like, I remember Lizzie McGuire. They did like this big thing with Lizzie McGuire and Limited 2. Like that was like the store if you watch Lizzie McGuire. And I watched Lizzie McGuire growing up. And let me say, that was a fucking great show. And Hilary Duff is a babe.
Is it the Lizzie McGuire movie was the one where they go to Italy?
Yes. Sing to Me.
I remember that.
Sing to me, Paolo.
Yeah, and, I definitely like rented that way back when.
We rented some great stuff growing up too.
No shame in it. It was a fun movie for being a youngin'.
I rented this movie when I was growing up at the local Blockbuster in New Bedford, right down the street where we were, on VHS, DVD. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's a really weird, just really bad made-for-DVD film called Thunderpants.
I can't say I've ever heard of Thunderpants. It
is about a young boy who farts. And that's the whole movie. He's his friend is Rupert Grint, a very young Rupert Grint, probably like right off the first Harry Potter.
I'm gonna read.
It is so bad.
This quick synopsis. It's one sentence.
Of Thunderpants?
Thunderpants is a 2002 British-German-American family comedy film about a boy whose incredible capacity for flatulence gets him a job as an astronaut.
And like this kid does like different roles, and there's one scene in particular that is fucking crazy. So he is befriended by an opera singer who can't hit this high note, but this kid's fart hits that note. So they do basically Sing It in the Rain, where he's behind the curtain and he farts, but like the kid eats something or like someone poisons the kid's food. So when he farts, it creates a sonic boom that makes one of the lights fall and kills the opera guy. Like it's fucking crazy, dude. Talk about surrealist film, like fucking A. We have to do a live watch party of Thunderpants.
Paul Giamatti is in the film.
Yep, Rupert
As
Grint.
is Keira Knightley. She's uncredited.
Yes.
By the way, Keira Knightley, whenever Corona blows over, if you want to get lunch.
Yep.
Oh,
Florence Pugh.
Never
once
mind.
This is done.
Never mind. She's
Call
married.
me.
She's married with 2 kids. Okay.
Florence Pugh. We'll go do some cool like German shit. If you're still down for that.
Oh, the host of Red Letter Media web series Best of the Worst shared similar sentiments when reviewing the film, with the consensus being that the movie was too charming and well made to be considered a bad film. So, as I mentioned, Red Letter Media a couple episodes ago,
the
Best of the Worst. I guess they talked about this. That's weird that I've never. So I went through a phase with Red Letter Media where there's like 200 plus Best of the Worst episodes, and they're all over an hour.
Oh, shit.
And I've watched almost all of them.
Oh, shit.
So I'll have to go back and try to find that one. That's fascinating. Yeah, I would love to watch that with you because it sounds like it's a trip.
Yep, and this is like when Paul Giamatti is like fresh off of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
And shit, so it's like this is like a paycheck film for him. So you can tell, like throughout the whole film, you can just tell that they're just cashing in.
He's phoning
like,
it. He's like, phoning it in hard.
Yep. But it's just so weird, and it's just I don't know how to describe it, but that was one that I remember vividly. Another one that we used to rent from our local Blockbuster was a thing called It, about this alien-like creature that grants kids wishes in like World War II. It's very weird.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Trying to remember what else. We rented Popeye, like the Robin Williams Popeye, which wasn't good. Wow.
Really?
Wasn't a well-made film.
You know what was really good? Robin Williams' Hook.
His book? I never read his book.
No, Hook. The movie Hook.
Oh, Hook, yes.
Oh my
man,
God.
I love Hook.
I used to have that on VHS. I guarantee you if I watch it now, I will be sobbing my ballsack off at the end of the film.
Yep.
As is everything with Robin Williams. Actually, hold up. There is a film called 1 Hour Photo, starring Robin Williams. It is not a comedy. He does not play a family-friendly character. He plays a weirdo creep, and he kills it. I would definitely suggest it. He works as a like a 1 hour photo person at like a Walmart sort of thing, and he like stalks this family through developing their photos and everything.
I think I've heard about this.
Oh my God, I have to rewatch, dude. It's so...
I think that was based off a true story.
It might have been. It's so good. Which is interesting because again, like Robin Williams usually has the like the fun roles. This is like a serious role.
Yep.
And then after he passed, I made the mistake of watching World's Greatest Dad.
Ooh, shit.
I would not suggest... Well, it's different now that it's been a while, but in that time, I would not suggest that to anyone. That was a bad watch choice after someone that I've loved since I was a child died. It was so fucking depressing.
Oh, damn.
But definitely watch 1 Hour Photo. And
for me, what was hard is once David Bowie passed, going back and watching Labyrinth.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was a movie I grew up watching. That was like one of the first DVDs we owned.
Really?
Was Labyrinth. Yep.
Because we all remember when DVDs came around.
Yep. I remember when we had our first DVD player, my mom and dad won it from like a work raffle thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at a Christmas party. And so they won a DVD player. And the very first DVD that we owned, I don't know if you've ever heard of this film or watched it. It's called The Three Caballeros.
Can't say
it's one of my favorite Disney films. It's a little over an hour. It's focused on Donald Duck. And it's his birthday, and he's greeted by two parrots, Joe Carioca from Brazil, and I think his name is Panchito from Mexico. And so they teach him about like Latin and Southern America, and it is you look back at it now, and it's like, okay, it's a little racist. Panchito, the Mexican chicken, comes in riding like the bullets from his revolver.
Oh my God!
Bow, 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 bow. He goes, yeah. He does a full thing. They go to Brazil, which is great. And then by the end of it, also, it just turns very surreal.
Ooh.
And I'll have to send it over to you. It's actually on Disney Plus if you have Disney Plus.
I can't say
I don't have Disney Plus anymore because I only got it for the free trial to watch Mandalorian. Yeah. And so, I'm just now waiting for Rise of Skywalker to now be on Disney Plus so that I can watch that again because I need that. For me, warrants a second viewing now.
Yeah,
after a couple months.
Definitely need to. I only saw it the once when I saw it in theaters. So I need to see that again.
And the only time I saw it in theaters, I saw it in 3D. So
Ooh,
I really want to see it 2D, maybe like with headphones or something, and just really let everything just encapsulate.
Yeah. speaking of getting lost and encapsulated in things,
Mm-hmm.
we mentioned that we were both going to read some surrealist poetry.
Yeah.
And I am super excited to hear what you have, and I'm also super excited to read these two pieces that I found.
Ooh, we should do an extended version of Richie's Poetry Corner at the Chuckle Club.
The Chuckle Club, yeah.
Yeah. Would this be a great time to go into it? I would say so.
I would definitely say so. You know, the sun's just going down. It's like 7:30.
Yeah.
We're hanging out. We had our nice little talk about all things weird-ass David Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Hit it back to the days of Blockbuster, which I vividly remember and totally miss.
Yeah.
And so now let's mellow it out with some surrealist poetry.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is just getting dark here at the Chuckle Club. I am Richie Oliver, and we are going to be going into Richie's Poetry Corner here at the Chuckle Club tonight. So get your fingers ready to snap and get your quarters ready to throw at any poets that you hate. So let's get right into it. I would like to introduce Mr. Alex Weber reading some poems, and then I'll come up and I'll read some more after that.
Oh, I'm gonna start off tonight? Oh.
Yes, please, sir. If you will.
Yeah. Let me just get some water really quickly, actually.
No problem, sir.
Wet the whistle.
No problem, sir.
All right, everyone. Thanks for having me at Richie's Poetry Corner live at the Chuckle Hut. So I have two pieces to read tonight, both by a poet named Robert Desnos.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's French. Both of these are from 1926.
Okay.
So they're a little old, and I was looking up some surrealist poetry, and when I read through these, I did really like them. So take another sip of water here. And this is poem number 1 by Robert Desnos called I've Dreamed of You So Much.
Mm-hmm.
I've dreamed of you so much that you're losing your reality. Is it already too late for me to embrace your living and breathing body and to kiss that mouth which is the birthplace of that voice so dear to me? I've dreamed of you so much that my arms, grown accustomed to lying crossed upon my own chest in a desperate attempt to encircle your shadow, might not be able to unfold again to embrace the contours of your body. And coming face to face with the actual incarnation of what has haunted me and ruled me and dominated my life for so many days and years, might very well turn me into a shadow. Oh, equilibriums of the emotional scales. I've dreamed of you so much that it might be too late for me to ever wake up again. I sleep on my feet, body confronting all the usual phenomena of life and love, and yet when it comes to you, the only being on the planet who matters to me now, I can no more touch your face and lips than I can those of the next random passerby. I've dreamed of you so much, have walked and talked and slept so much with your phantom presence that perhaps the only thing left for me to do now is to become a phantom among phantoms, a shadow 100 times more shadowy than the shadow which moves and will go on moving, stepping lightly and joyfully across the sundial of your life. Robert Desnos, 1926.
Oh shit, dude.
Right. Oh.
Whew. Oh man.
Yeah, I got goosebumps finishing that one up. It's always the last lines. It is always the last lines.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, this next one's long, so I need to work on my eye voice coordination because I trip myself on words sometimes.
Oh, me too. Every once in a while I'll be like, ah, shit.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Especially the ending is super good. This one is also very good. And this is by the same author, Robert Desnos. It's called Sleep Spaces. It is also from 1927. In the night, there are, of course, the seven wonders of the world, and greatness, tragedy, and enchantment. Forests collide with legendary creatures hiding in thickets. There is you. In the night, there are the walker's footsteps, the murderers, the town policeman's light from the street lamp, and the ragman's lantern. There is you. In the night, trains go past, and boats, and the fantasy of countries where it's daytime. The last breaths of twilight, and the first shivers of dawn. There is you. A piano tune, a shout, a door slams, a clock. And not only beings and things and physical sounds, but also me chasing myself or endlessly going beyond me. There is you, the sacrifice, you that I am waiting for. Sometimes, at the moment of sleep, strange figures are born and disappear. When I shut my eyes, phosphorescent blooms appear and fade and come to life again like fireworks made of flesh. I pass through strange land with creatures for company. No doubt you are there, my beautiful discreet spy, and the palpable soul of the vast reaches. And perfumes of the sky and the stars, the song of a rooster from 2,000 years ago, and piercing screams in a flaming park and kisses. Sinister handshakes in a sickly light and axles grinding on paralyzing roads. No doubt there is you who I do not know, who on the contrary I do know, but who, here in my dreams, demands to be felt without ever appearing. You who remain out of reach in reality and in dream. You who belong to me through my will to possess your illusion, but who brings your face near mine only if my eyes are closed in dream as well as in reality. You who, in spite of an easy rhetoric where the waves die on the beach, where crows fly into ruined factories, where the wood rots crackling under a lead sun. You who are at the depths of my dreams, stirring up a mind full of metamorphoses, leaving me your glove when I kiss your hand. In the night, there are stars and the shadowy motion of the sea, of rivers, forests, towns, grass, and the lungs of millions and millions of beings. In the night, there are the seven wonders of the world. In the night, there are no guardian angels, but there is sleep. In the night, there is you. In the daylight, too. Robert Desnos, 1927.
Jesus, man.
I just almost fucking cried at that last part. Woo! Yeah, I found some zingers.
Damn.
And that one, I feel, as opposed to the first one, is a lot more surreal because, like, the first one, definitely there's some, like, abstraction to it. But, like, I kind of followed it. In this one, it's just, like, I don't know what to think of this, but it's beautiful. And so those are my two surrealist pieces for tonight at the Chuckle Club. And I'm glad I found these two, and I really enjoyed reading them.
That's awesome. That's really cool. It's always nice here at the Chuckle Club that we recognize other artists who like to experience different pieces of poetry and bring them up. I'm going to close out the night with a poet, surrealist poet by the name of Pablo Neruda. He is a Chilean poet and politician. Actually, he was the son. Pablo Neruda was the pen name and later legal name of the Chilean poet and politician Neftali Ricardo Reyes Basualto. Basualto. He chose his pen name after a Czech poet, Jan Neruda.
I've actually heard of Pablo Neruda.
Pablo Neruda is a great poet there. So the poem that I'm going to be reading is called Epithalamium by Pablo Neruda. Do you remember when in winter we reached the island? The sea raised toward us a crown of cold. On the walls the climbing vines murmured, letting dark leaves fall as we passed. You too were a little leaf that trembled on my chest. Life's wind put you there. At first I did not see you. I did not know that you were walking with me, until your roots pierced my chest through the threads of my blood, spoke through my mouth, flourished with me. Thus was your inadvertent presence, invisible leaf or branch, and suddenly my heart was filled with fruits and sounds. You occupied the house that darkly awaited you, and then you lit the lamps. The island of stone and moss echoed in the secret of its grottos, like the song in your mouth and the flower that was born between the crevices of the stone, with its secret syllables spole, as it passed, your name of a blazing plant, and the steep rock raised like the wall of the world, knew my song, well-beloved, and all the things spoke of your love, my love, beloved, because earth, time, sea, island, life, tide, the seed that half opens its lips in the earth, the devouring flower, the movement of spring, everything recognizes us. Our love was born outside the walls, in the wind, in the night, in the earth. And that's why the clay and the flower, the mud and the roots know your name, and know that my mouth joined yours, because we were sown together in the earth, and we alone did not know it, and that we grow together and flower together, and therefore when we pass, your name is on the petals of the rose that grows on the stone. My name is in the grottos. They know it all. We have no secrets. We have grown together, but we did not know it. The sea knows our love. The stones of the rocky height know that our kisses flowered with infinite purity, as in their crevices a scarlet mouth dawns, just as our love and the kiss that joins your mouth and mine in an eternal flower. My love, sweet spring, flower and sea surround us. We did not change it for our winter when the wind began to decipher your name, and today at all hours it repeats when the leaves did not know that you were a leaf, when the roots did not know that you were seeking me in my breast. Love, love. Spring offers us the sky, but the dark earth is our name. Our love belongs to all time and the earth. Loving each other, my arm beneath your neck of sand, we shall wait as earth and time change on the island, as the leaves fall from the silent climbing vines, as autumn departs through the broken window. But we are going to wait for our friend, our red-eyed friend the fire, when the wind again shakes the frontiers of the island and does not know the names of everyone. Winter will seek us, my love, always. It will seek us because we know it, because we do not fear it, because have with us fire forever, spring with us forever, and when a leaf falls from the climbing vines, you know, my love, what name is written, oh, on that leaf. A name that is yours and mine, a love name, a single being, the arrow that pierced winter, the invincible love, the fire of the days, a leaf that dropped upon my breast, a leaf from the tree of life that made a nest and sang, that put our roots, that gave flowers and fruits. And so you see, my love, how I move around the island, around the world, safe in the midst of spring, crazy with light, in the cold, walking tranquil, in the fire, lifting your petal weight in my arms, as if I had never walked except with you. My heart as if I could not walk except with you, as if I could not sing except when you sing. Pablo Neruda.
That was great, Richie.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, that was intense.
Oh, man. The last lines.
I exactly.
My heart as if I could not walk except with you, as if I could not sing except when you sing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn. Crazy.
I'm trying to think. There was one or two lines that when I was reading mine, I like mentally flagged them to bring them up again, but I'm not sure which ones they were anymore. I did like "No Doubt You Are There, My Beautiful Discreet Spy" in the second one. I thought that was
I love
fun.
that line.
Damn, this is gonna piss me off because there was one that just like when I first saw it, I was like, okay, there we go, that's it. Oh. When I shut my eyes, phosphorescent blooms appear and fade and come to life again like fireworks made of flesh.
Yes,
like,
I remember that line vividly.
What a sentence.
Dude, what a fucking creep. I joke.
Desnos, you dog.
Desnos, you fucking dog. How was she?
Oh, okay. Wait, what the fuck?
Yep.
I swear to God, I said 1927, correct?
Yes.
I swear to God this said 1927, but now both poems say 1926.
Ooh.
All right, so it's either 1926 or 1927.
This poem was written in... Let me see if I have it. I do not have when it was written. But, yeah. Some of the lines that I really like in here. You too were a little leaf that trembled on my chest, and I love the line, life's wind put you there.
Yeah.
So, life has wind, which is now something that is a concept in this poem, which I also agree with, which I think is really cool. So, I love his use of surrealist imagery, too, to talk about... This whole poem is a kiss.
Yeah.
If you really just think about it. And so it used this awesome surreal imagery to talk about a kiss.
And, like, it's funny because you think about a kiss as just, like, a quick moment, but that was a very long poem filled with so many, like, so much descriptive language and so much going on.
Dave Matthews has a song from, I think, his 03-04 album, Stand Up, and I really love it. It's called Old Dirt Hill, Bring That Beat Back. And there's a line where he says, and I love a description of a kiss. He says, "First time you kissed me, I lost my legs."
Ooh.
And I was like, ah, shit, like, that is fucking great. So, yeah, if any of you like Dave Matthews out there in the world. No, but my good friend Aaron Yellen loves Dave Matthews. And he like listens to him like daily. Another great jam band, Dave Matthews Band. They go on to like full jams, which is great.
I never really gotten to Dave Matthews. I know you do a very good Dave Matthews impression though.
Oh yeah.
I remember that from sophomore year of school. You're like, yo, you want to hear my Dave Matthews impression? And I'm like, sure, Richie, let me hear it.
And then I went,
essentially.
And then you're just like, all right.
It's like,
I'm gonna
okay.
get back to work.
It's like, cool, I like your Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas poster. Bye.
Yeah. And then you're just like, I like that you drank two pots of coffee a day.
Oh my god. Yo, like, so my job has both regular cold brew coffee and nitro cold brew coffee on tap.
Oh shit.
In two places. We take up 3 floors of our building. And I work on the 5th floor. I think on the 4th floor and then the 6th floor is where they have the coffee taps, and like the 5th floor and the 6th floor are just like they're basically connected to each other. So I'd have like 2 mason jars, because of course, full of nitro cold brew a day, and I just
goddamn hipster.
I would just be slammed. But ever since I started work from home, I don't have personally any coffee in my apartment right now.
Ah, shit.
So I've been off the wagon for a couple weeks, and I don't know how I'm surviving, but like even within the past 2 years post graduation, my coffee consumption has definitely like slowed or like tapered off. And it's always funny thinking back to how much coffee I drank in school, because I should be dead. Like,
that's me with my alcohol consumption. Like, I've noticed as soon as I left school, I'm just like, oh, okay, I do three drinks at a bar and I'm good for the night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then like at school I was like, let's buy McGillicuddy's and let me double fist shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can't do that anymore, honey.
Because it's like I would start and I had a very small, it wasn't like a full-size coffee maker. It was a tiny little coffee maker, but still.
It was about like a 10-cup coffee maker
that
year.
My morning would be one of those pots, and then like I'd maybe make a second one later in the afternoon if I needed it. And it's just like, why did I need that much coffee? And then like I'd go out and get like iced coffee when I'm in class and shit too if I really needed it. Like,
yep.
I would love to see the stats. Like, that's one thing where it's like, oh, when you die, what if like they just showed you like a whole like life stat board? That's one thing that I would want to know. I'm like, yo, between this year and this year,
how many fucking cups?
In a volume, like either cups, milliliters, gallons, whatever you want. How much coffee did I drink in college?
Yeah, that would be great. I'd love to see that and like try to calculate it. Because I remember you'd wake up, this is when you stopped drinking like coffee from the student center.
Yeah.
Because you hated having the stacks, and also it was like the fucking student center coffee.
Yeah, it wasn't that
and
good.
You had a coffee maker. I think it held like 10 cups.
I don't know.
It was like just like a quick like filter coffee,
yeah,
put it in and brew
super
it.
tiny.
Yep. And you made a pot in the morning, and you drank that full pot. And then you'd have a pot in the evening.
Sometimes,
so
yeah.
you would leave the coffee in there that's been brewed.
Yeah.
And then you just brew it again.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
And I was like, dude, you goddamn hipster.
I know, right? And it was shit coffee too. Like my standards have doubled by now.
I was like, at one point I was like, you're just gonna turn into John Mulaney and just live off of cigarettes and vodka Red Bull.
I've never had a vodka Red Bull. I don't really want to have one.
I've never had an energy drink in my life. I'm not a big fan of energy drinks.
You're really not missing much.
Huh?
You're really not missing much at all.
Yeah, it's just.
I went through, like you do, sort of like middle school, high school.
Yep.
Like an energy drink phase. One of my best friends currently, I met him 7th grade, and we've been like best friends ever since. And his sister, who's significantly older than him, at the time while we were in high school, the guy she was dating, his parents worked for PepsiCo, which owns Amp energy drinks.
Oh shit.
And so at my friend's house, we would get like pallets worth of Amp energy drink in this kid's fucking basement.
Holy shit.
I cannot begin to tell you how many. I used to have like a chain with all the energy drink tabs that I've had on it. Ridiculous.
Oh no.
There was one time
where
my friend and we tried to like set a record for who can drink the most in a day.
God damn
it. I tapped out at like 13, I think, which is not fucking good. That's so bad for you. But I was young. I could take it. This was before my 20s.
Yeah, I don't think. Could you imagine me drinking energy drinks?
I could imagine you taking a sip.
Do you know how bad that would have probably made me?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I've had a 5-hour energy twice in my life. The last time I did it did nothing for me, but the first time I did when I was in high school, I started doing parkour in my friend's basement, and then we had a lightsaber fight.
Damn, that is crazy. And yeah. I remember when you used to do coke. I'm kidding. Alex Weber has never done Coca-Cola.
I do not do cocaine. But I do like the song "Cocaine" by Eric Clapton.
Dude, that's a fucking great
song. It's a good song. You get some of those live versions going on in there. There is a video of Eric Clapton and Jeff Beck.
Oh shit.
Playing "Further On Up the Road."
Oh.
I'm gonna send it to you as soon as we sign off because it is.
That sounds like "Further On Up the Road."
It's bluesy. It's bluesy as hell, and they both just rip into these incredible solos. My English tutor back in my post-concussion days, where I was not in public school and needed a tutor, was super into music and showed me that. And this was like freshman, sophomore year of high school. So even now, I'm like, this is one of my favorite videos ever.
Oh wow!
So I'll definitely send it to you.
Oh, perfect! I'm excited.
It's a good one. It's high energy. It's fun. Jeff Beck kills it. Eric Clapton obviously kills it.
Jeff Beck is great.
Absolutely. On that note,
yeah.
What do you say? You want
to shoot the puppy?
Yeah, let's do that. I can't bring myself to say it, but let's do it.
You wanna?
Let's throw out this Karen.
Dude, let's fucking throw every Karen out of every bar ever. Let's do it.
Not even that. Out of every Whole Foods. Let's throw every Karen out of every Whole Foods.
Dude, actually no. Let's throw every Karen out of Market Basket.
Ooh. Oh! I was on Reddit the other day. And by the other day, I mean either last night or this morning. The two kind of blend together. Yep. And someone shared a article it was from like, I don't know, it was like Fox News Houston, so I was like, but it was about a woman spraying a cashier with Lysol in
Yes.
Massachusetts. And I wanted to bring up, that's the store that your mother works at?
Maybe. Did it reference a Trukey's Middleborough?
Okay, no, this was in Leicester, I think.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
Yep, that
So
probably wasn't it then.
But this is happening, and that's fucking ridiculous, so.
People are idiots, man.
I know. And it was like, in the article, it was like, yeah, she finished the transaction and then left it in Uber. And one of the comments was like, finish the transaction? What'd she do? Leave the fucking money on the counter and walk out? Like, how do you not get stopped for that?
Right?
Ridiculous. So that being said,
like if a woman sprayed me with Lysol, I would have made it a point to like grab her and then like put her on the ground.
yeah, dude, you can't do that. Lysol's like bad. You can't spray that in someone's eyes. You're gonna go fucking blind. Like,
Exactly.
We've got it bad enough as it is, and now you got to be quarantined at home and you're blind.
Man.
This is the socially distant PSA 1. Don't be a dick.
PSA 2. Sometimes it's okay to eat one.
Hey, what you do on your time is your business, not mine, so I don't care. Just don't be a dick. So before Donald Duck continues to perform fellatio on a
Kobayashi
on a an unknown recipient, I say
oh boy.
I say let's kick this Karen.
Yeah, let's kick this Karen. Dude, that's so good.
All right. On that note, everyone,
right.
Thank you for taking part in this interesting experience of us diving into What Did Jack Do by David Lynch.
Yes.
If you haven't watched it and you are listening to this, I implore you to do so. It is literally 16 minutes, so I know you have the time because what the fuck else are you doing?
Right.
It's
if you have time to listen to us ramble for an hour.
It's 16 minutes. Visually, it's beautiful.
Yes.
And it is funny, it is weird, and it's going to make you think. So I highly recommend it. If you've never watched anything with David Lynch before, doesn't matter. What Did Jack Do is a great little introduction to the weirdness of David Lynch. So hope you liked our discussion on that. Hope you enjoyed the extended version of Richie's Poetry Corner live from the Chuckle Hut.
Yep.
I really liked the 3 pieces that we collectively read, and I'm super glad that we are continuing to do this. So thanks again, everyone. Hope y'all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whenever you're listening to this. Try to stay sane, stay cool, and remember to always stay socially distant.
This has been a broadcast of WWE and its affiliates.